Hey guys, what's up? So in this video, I just want to touch on how to get Python up and running with Visual Studio Code. A lot of you guys have actually asked me how to do this, and you try to run Python and it doesn't work because if you're running Windows, then you may not add it to your path, and then that can be a problem. So during the Python installation, there's an option to add it to your path so things will work. So the first thing to do when you're getting set up here is we need to download and install Python. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to grab the latest version as of this video, which is download Python 3.6.1. And we're going to go ahead and install it. Now when we install it though, like I said, there's this additional option where you have to do a custom install in order to check this box which says add Python to your path. And what that does, if you're interested, it tells Windows how to handle Python files. It basically says, hey, when I run into a Python file, I'm going to use Python, which is installed on the machine, to read that file or to execute that file. Because without Python installed and without Windows knowing about it, then it won't work. But you can see right here, in fact, they've changed it now where you could just simply say, add Python 3.6 to the path. And that's exactly what we want to do. We'll click install now. Alright, so we can go ahead and close this. And now if we want to test our install, we can open up our Cortana if you're using Windows 10 and just type CMD, which is command prompt, and you can do that on all Windows as far back as I can remember. And if you type Python, it should actually start your interactive Python shell where we can actually write Python code right now. Alright, so that's the print statement there. So that now we know that Python is installed. We can close the command prompt. And now let's go ahead and install Visual Studio Code. Alright, so we're going to download for Windows. And here I'm just going to do the standard recommended install. There's nothing special that we have to do here. Alright, so let's go ahead and launch Visual Studio Code now that it's installed, because what we're going to need to do now is, in fact, I'm going to use Chrome. I do not want to use Edge. So what we're going to do is actually install our first extension, which is going to be our Python extension. So if you click on this square icon on the left-hand side, this is going to open up your extension manager. And you can see Python, this .jmin version. That's what we want. You typically want to look at how many downloads these packages have. Like you can see Python's downloaded almost 2 million times. The amount of downloads, obviously the star rating is a pretty good indicator on whether or not it's a good package. Once it's installed, you have to reload Visual Studio Code, so that's what we're doing right now. And now if we were to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to open up a folder, so I'll say open folder. And in my C drive, I'm actually going to, under my projects, I'm going to have a tutorials, and inside here I'll put a Python folder. Okay, and we're going to select that folder to open. Alright, so now you can see there's nothing in this folder. Everything's empty. So if I say click new file icon, we can say test.py. Py is the Python extension that tells that's how you name a Python file, and when it's being executed, that extension is looked at, and that's once again why Microsoft needs to have Python added to the path in order to be able to execute it without any problems. So let's go ahead and I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see a little better. I'm just going to run a simple print hello world. Press Control S to save. I'm going to disable this linter. Now, linting is something that also confuses a lot of beginners. It's something that's helpful if you have a team of developers and you're trying to write like picture perfect Python code. But when you're first getting started, there's no reason to have to use a linter right away. Not in my opinion, anyway. All right. So now that we have this file here, what we're going to do is we're going to click the little debug icon, and you can see that it says there's no configuration. What we want to do is press play, allow access. And then what we want to do under the play, we're going to say add a configuration, and we're going to say attach Python debugger. All right, and so now we have this new configuration. I want to go back to our folder by clicking on this document or Explorer icon. We're going to click on the test.py again. And now when we go back over to our debugger, in fact, I'm going to save this launch.json file. And now that we have the Python test.py, you can see Python is now the drop-down value. So if we press play, you can see that we're running into a situation where it says that this cannot find Python on the path. And this is a Visual Studio Code issue. So in order to fix that problem, this actually happens when you first install Visual Studio Code. So I want you to kill it completely and then open it back up. And it should actually solve the problem. So you can see it opens up right into our file here. So we have our test.py, and I'm going to go ahead and click on the debugger icon again and click to play. And now you can see that it did stop on the first line, so the Python code is executing. So I can't actually press F10 because it stops my recorder, but you can see that if you want to step into and step out of, you can do Shift to F11 or F10 to step over. Click the stop button if you want to stop. Now, if you want to figure out why it's actually stopping on the first line, there is a setting here that says where it says stop on entry equals true, and we're going to say false because we do not want the program to stop on the first line all the time. That would be really annoying. And one of the reasons why this this editor is cool is because it allows you to reason about your code a lot better. So if I were to say x equals testing, and then y equals 1 plus 2, so we have these two different things. I could put breakpoints here, and when I go to launch this file again, I can click play, and you can see it stops now on this this breakpoint. And if we hover over x, you can see the value of x. You can also see it on the left hand side over here. You can see that there's variable x is there. Now if I go ahead and I step over this line, you can now see that we have both the variable x and y now, and also you can print. So having this available, it makes it a lot easier to write your Python code, so you can step through it and really I guess understand everything it is that you're doing. So alright guys, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe. Also check out my other channel, which is chrishawks.com. The link below is actually going to the description tab. Will have links to my main programming channel, which is Chris Hawks, where I just typically talk about programming related stuff. Alright guys, take care. Bye. Hey guys, so a lot of you ask me, how do I get my foot in the door to become a programmer? And I just want to take a moment to mention Dev Mountain Coding Bootcamp is a 12-week intensive course that focuses on the technologies of the here and now for web development. Some of the things that they're actually teaching in this 12-week course, it's geared to get you into the industry by focusing on things like jQuery, Node.js, React, Angular, how to use GitHub. So a lot of the things that you're going to need to do as a developer, as soon as you start, they're going to be teaching you in this coding bootcamp. And the entire goal is to be able to get you into the industry within 12 weeks. So if you guys are interested in learning more information about Dev Mountain Coding Bootcamp, just check out the link in the description tab of this video. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.